President Trump to sign executive order allowing cryptocurrencies in 401k retirement plans today. Do you know how much money is in this one arena alone at the confluence of all these other crypto headlines that I want to discuss in this video? Crypto is incredibly bullish right now. I want to kind of take a glance at SUI and Cardano charts on the kind of zoomed in charts. A little bit of speculation, but a nice little roadmap for potential price action on the short term. But I really do want to start with this news. Reports are the White House will approve crypto investments inside of someone's 401k plan today. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence system, please check us out. We have our risk models, our exit planners. We have a free trial going on right now. You can get in there. You can just give us a shot. If you don't like it, very simple, cancel. So if you can buy bonds, this is Anthony over here on X, which are essentially guaranteed to lose value over long periods of time, then you should be able to buy Bitcoin. So let's see. It looks like Trump's going to sign this executive order today. If this happens, what does this mean from like how much money is in this 401k space, right? I saw this post. U.S. retirement assets are $43.4 trillion. $8.7 trillion in assets are held in 401ks. These retirement funds will be able to, I should say, buy Bitcoin and alts. Do you understand how massive that is? $8.7 trillion in assets. This is probably the biggest validation and liquidity event for crypto. So it's a big one, that's for sure. I don't know if it's the biggest. There are so many things going on right now. We just saw this the other day. Liquid staking activities and tokens are not considered securities, according to the SEC the other day. This was a big deal because, you know, as Nate says here, thinking less hurdle in order for SEC to approve staking and spot ETH ETFs. Liquid, and the reason he's saying that is because liquid staking tokens will be used to help manage liquidity within spot ETH ETFs, something that was a concern for SEC. So what do you think this SEC liquid staking, not a security news means in terms of ETF staking? The amount of money that is pouring into, I mean, we see it. We can even go over here to Ethereum. And actually, I'm kind of curious. There's been some outflows lately, but let's update the Ethereum ETF chart and see kind of what it's looking like. So you can see yesterday, $33 million inflow, 88 million on August 5th. We had like a 375 million outflow, but there have been a ton of inflow with BlackRock for quite some time now. And what do you think this means? The SEC liquid staking news for ETFs, not just Ethereum, but all these other altcoin ETFs. Cardano ETF is in play. We're at the very beginning set right now for a brand new crypto era. And we're seeing kind of within each headline how much money is waiting, is up for grabs. So that's that. And then I really wanted to bring this to your attention because this is massive. Here is the current Senate calendar. As you can see, they are all off August and in session for 3 weeks in September. The Clarity Act will see debate during September with a possible vote by the 19th. If not, then Clarity won't see a vote until one of the weeks in October. We're in August. September right around the corner. August right around the corner. We're still waiting on Clarity. The Clarity Act is going to very simply bring insane amount of clarity and innovation to the crypto space. That is going to unlock a massive amount of money. Polymarket has 65% chance odds that the Clarity Act will be signed into law in 2025. So goes to vote. Trump can sign this into law very quickly. Do you see the confluence of all of these things? I know I do price action a lot. I know a lot of people get sick of it, especially if we're not pumping. But I wanted to kind of start this video. We are going to do some price action with SUI and ADA. I wanted to start the video by just kind of going over some of these key moments that are happening right now for crypto. I'm very zoomed out on the macro with altcoins, with Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance, I wanted to make a note. Bitcoin dominance falling on the daily right now. But really what I'm curious about, and I mentioned this in last night's video, is the weekly. I want to see what happens if Bitcoin gets to this like almost 61%, 60.86% area. It's the 50-week moving average on the Bitcoin dominance chart. You can see the weekly candle so far. Not sure how it's going to close. Not sure what's going to happen here. I want to see if Bitcoin dominance can start falling below this area. That could be a very good sign for altcoins. Last night's video, I have my eyebrow raised to Ethereum. I mentioned I'm waiting for $4,100 to break. I want to see Ethereum break it with strength. That's something I'm keeping an eye on. But I wanted to do kind of SUI analysis in this video and ADA, which we'll get to. But SUI on the weekly looking so beautiful in terms of just the consolidation that has taken place since January 2025. The structure that is here, you just see this kind of triangle in play, and the moving average compression that has taken place right now. There is, and this is what is in store, I think even in the short to midterm, is just this move to the upside. And then once again, the separation of the 20 and the 50 moving averages. You see this? This is a bull move. That separation of that 20 and the 50. That's what I'm watching on SUI on the weekly. And it's the daily that's kind of really giving me some potential clues. And I think can offer us clues. So here's where we are. And you can do analysis on this kind of short term in so many different ways. But really what I'm taking a note of is this. We had this swing high, and then we're kind of going in this swing low. You see this 20-day crossing the 50 and 200, and then just starting to kind of consolidate once again. I've spotted this, and we get this often on crypto charts. Just very nice consistency in terms of how price action moves. But I saw this back here, and this is very similar to kind of my analysis on Ethereum last night, actually. This 20-day crossing above the 200 there, kind of consolidating for a moment. You can even just see, and this is kind of the move that we're in. From a momentum standpoint, from a price action standpoint, we're like right here right now. You can see it just got above that 20-day in green, and then we fell back to the 50-day. So we bounced off of the 50-day, above the 20-day, back to the 50-day, and then explosion. I'm very mindful of what SUI is doing right now because we just broke the 20-day, or I'm sorry, we just broke off of the 50-day support. We're approaching the 20-day. So that move back, I think it was September that we just looked at, was kind of like made a move here, and then we actually came back down to test the 50-day one more time, and then it was blast off. So I'm really monitoring SUI right now. Can SUI, well, I should say, will SUI kind of do something similar? Maybe there's resistance here. We got to test the 50-day again. I'm always curious what's happening within all the moving averages. So the 20-day is 375. The 50-day is 92. And I'm sorry, 334. I don't know where the 92 came from. And then the 200-day is 315. So is SUI going to make a run for it? And then I'm going to be watching the Fibonacci, the lower high Fibonacci. So price action wise, swing low to swing high. I'll be watching this range for SUI, 420 down to around 4. If SUI breaks that area, then my eyes are peeled for an altcoin breakout. And sometimes SUI can make a move like that sooner, making a move before other altcoins. For instance, and we can kind of segue to ADA. ADA could just kind of be choppy and sideways, and SUI could be making that breakout move. Well, then I'm going to start watching my Cardano charts. And here's what Cardano charts are looking like right now. So I have this structured setup that I've been kind of monitoring. And that is kind of this price action that we have here. Left shoulder, right head, right shoulder set up. We're at the 50-day. So similar 50-day moving average support on Cardano right now. We're bouncing to the upside, even about to approach the 20-day. SUI is doing something very similar, right? So how are these cryptos going to interact with these areas? Again, similar to my Ethereum analysis last night, I like seeing green candles that we're seeing right now. I want to see upside, but I'm not really going to start raising my eyebrows until something meaningful is happening in terms of real momentum shift. For Cardano, obviously, needs to flip the 20-day. It's around 80 cents, just around 80 cents. But we have this lower high Fibonacci for Cardano here as well. It's around 90 down to around 84 cents. If ADA starts breaking that area, I think we'll be in that environment where, as I mentioned last night, Ethereum is probably breaking the $4,100 area. Then I'm going to start being intrigued with a lot of these altcoins. But I will be kind of aware that we might see resistance at the 20-day. We might have a nice little pump today. Everybody's getting excited again. We're just above the 20, but then we're stalling below that lower high Fibonacci. We're consolidating more. I just want to let these markets play out in terms of price action. But all the while, everybody, I tried to start this video with a macro view. The setup for altcoins is looking so good. And I realize I've been saying that for so long, but look at what the story has brought us. Swing low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. It has looked good. we've been progressing in this higher high, higher low environment, and we're just waiting for that next swing high, the all-time high for altcoins. And I'm just kind of tracking these moments. ADA, I should have mentioned, if we get this inverse head and shoulders set up, the breakout target is close to $1 or close to $2. I'd say it's probably more around $1.80, but that $1.80 to $2 range, I think, is the next meaningful move for Cardano on this chart. And that's the setup I'm watching in terms of price action on the short term. So crazy headline today, crazy headlines lately. Q3, Q4 are going to be awesome for crypto, in my opinion. So I'm just tracking the journey, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit that like button. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.